Hi, I'm Tim Rubble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Working on the Humvee high-low camper. This is going to be the final video before we leave to go to Newport Dunes. So let's talk about where I left off, and then I am going to do a brief recap on what I got going on with this and why I did what I did. So as you can see, I laid tile in the bathroom. I absolutely love the way that turned out. Probably added maybe 10 pounds in the back. Super stoked with that. Two different types of grout. I used one that was pre-mixed and then ran out of that, and then had to go mix the other up from the powder solution, which I actually did a lot better. I will never buy the pre-mixed stuff again, especially with the stone work. It took a lot to get that all the grout off of the stone, but I absolutely just love the way everything turned out. I got my Thedford curve toilet set up, match painted to everything in the inside. I love the way that turned out. It's on its little ramp there. It's not totally installed. I got that mocked up for just the video. I use this ladder to go in and out of it, and as you can tell, the fan up there always wants to chop my head off, so getting the mattress and everything up in place is a little tough. But the refrigerator is mounted, the sink is mounted, the stove is mounted, charge controller, inverter, DC fuse block, AC routing. I got a DC switch panel up there that controls water pump, lights, and it has an alternative for something else. I'd made this little top a shelf here. That worked out really well. Let me see if I can sneak up in here and not chop my head off. This is like the 10th straight day of a heat warning, and man, it's been super cool to work in this. Give me the opportunity to do some heat training before we go to Newport Dunes. All right, I have cleared the fan. Got the TV mounted. It's not in its final place. It's going to go up and level with this, and it's on a swivel. So you'll be able to swivel that out of the way to climb up in bed if we're going to have somebody sleep up there. Most of that's going to be gear storage for now. But this has to move over 1 inch, and then it's going to lean back a little bit, and that's going to move up about 1 inch. And that'll give me a better solution for this right here. And this is the LG Nano Cell, same thing I have in Oscar Mike in a 75 inch, and then this is a 42, and that's the smallest they make it, but I absolutely love that TV. All right, this is kind of nerve-wracking with this thing sitting right here. But I have the Lifesaver water purifier tank. Have that set up. You can see I kind of made like a little quick countertop there. I got some weight on that. That barbecue will probably stay there. I'll probably do some type of venting with that, or maybe that'll just be its place where it's stored. But Cubic Mini is about where it's going to be. Oven, stove is once again installed. This, I built this so this lifts off. I've put 2 layers of carpet foam in, and then plus this amazing carpet. So up here is going to be all carpeted. I have some more coming. And then up here on the wall where I am, you can see I did this little outcropping. And that's so you have a place to kind of stack your pillows. That will be a carpet backed also. That'll allow you to lay down and watch TV pretty comfortable, or sit upright and use the computer. But as you can see here, you can sit on the bed. And this is a 10-inch mattress, and I don't recommend going 10. I think 8 is enough, and 10 just gives you a little bit extra height in stuff that you really don't need. So take my advice if you like, and go ahead and go 8 if you're going to do a mattress. You can get away with 6, and I think the one I had in the adventure truck was 4, but it had a down covering on it, which was cool. But this is all set up. I got some cheapy sheets, 2 set for $14 off of Amazon. Talk a little bit about pricing on things. I spent a little over $5,100 this last month on this alone, and that's different screws, carpet, spray paint, clear, some more stain, just the little knickknacks. You know, I bought the aluminum, I bought the tubing, polystyrene for the reflectix in the walls, you know, the traction boards and all of that. these builds are expensive. I know on paper they don't look expensive, and you think, oh well, I could build that for this. So currently, where this truck is sitting, it's always for sale. It's for sale right now for 60 grand, and that includes all the new lighting and everything to build that goes with it. If you're a fabricator, you probably know that's already a deal. The truck is a 2006 1165, which is the 12.5K chassis. The bigger axles, bigger brakes, heavier duty suspension. Sits about 2 inches higher than a normal Humvee. And it has the 6.5 turbo, 908 hours on it. It is the 4-speed transmission. And the truck is just in really driving and pristine shape. But this is where I'm at on the camper build. And of course, it's got to be, you know, like this TV stand is tacked in. The cubicle will have to come down. That has to come out. Then I can drive that out in October and continue down with my process. But absolutely love this carpet. I know a lot of people in van life, bus builds and stuff, they're like, oh my God, I would never do carpet. Man, I really like carpet. It adds insulation. It keeps you warm. It keeps you cool. It kind of just adds to a norm to the whole situation. Nothing like trying to climb down with one hand. So I'll go back over here. I already have steering wheels, gauges, and mirrors and everything set up and ready to go in this. Steering wheel's all set up. It's a nice suede. Already got the adapter on it. It's ready to go in. Super cool looking. This will be the headliner. Cover that up. I am going to carpet as we look straight through. And this carpet's just kind of, you can kind of see a little lumpiness there. It's just cut in for right now. I'm going to let it lay for 2 months, and then I'll come in and make the final changes. As you can see, this back here, I did a 1/2 inch lip because this whole thing right here is the shower drain. And 2 layers of foam, and I probably added maybe 1.5 inches. So I got to take that door back off, which is easy. It just swings open and then wiggles out on the hinges. I built it that way in case I needed to modify it. And you can see that I need to modify it just a little over 1.25 inches. So I'll do that. I'll work on that next solution and get that back together. But it's what I talk about. Like, you have to get something going before you can make your decision. Things on paper look great. I've been fighting for 1 inch, on this side. Got the inch. I got plenty of storage. I got plenty of entry. I'm not sure. I probably get my XR down the middle here, my Electric Motion XR. I could definitely get a mountain bike in here, no problem. But that's why I did do 3 receiver hitches on the back, and probably going to need to use that function for a full-size dirt bike, which is going to be my Stark Varg is all I'm down to. Let's see. I found a solution for running the wiring. I cut out that cross member here, and of course, I replaced everything with steel and roll cage. But that makes a nice tunnel to go across and run plumbing. That's done. This is done. The wiring for that is already run. That's looking good. Once again, these are 1/4 inch rock sliders that are set up and welded down to the frame, and then the cage, roll cage, comes off of that, so it all ties into that. The top cage is 188. We've already talked about this, but I'll recap once again. Seats are in. I am going to carpet that tunnel in this. I will not be doing carpet in the bottom. I may do some lay-in pieces, but I find that my habitat usually does not get dirty. Let's see if we can lean this chair back a little bit. There we go. There we go. That looks better. So you can kind of see for a crawl through, sitting here and just having to crawl through should not be an issue. It's going to be a little tight, but I'll use this probably as main entry. Talking about that while I'm looking up, talking about that inch. We're looking right here. So I'm going to gain, I want to bring this TV back so it sets on this lower edge and then straight up on that swivel. And that's a lockable swivel. So I know I have to go that way an inch, and then I know I'll have to maybe make a plate or a backup or something on that to take for the width of everything. But that's just how and I got it tacked in place because I already know I'm gonna have to cut it off to get out of here. Um, so the TV is actually going to set pretty much the height, and we're there and there. So that looks like to me about 2 inches taller where I'm at. And I think I'm at somewhere at like 40 off of that. And I have up to 48 to go to use one sheet on the side. I'd like to do 46 so I could use one sheet on the side on the outside framing. Let's see why I'm thinking about it. I have the MRT double bead locks. These rear spares are on spindles. That is the lowest part of the departure angle. I still have to go to the arc droid and the Everlast and cut out some plates for that to final weld that out. But this is kind of how we're looking here. It's kind of set up like if you had to leave in this vehicle, let's say tomorrow, you could totally out and go drive it like it is. And it's what I would call semi-operational because the batteries are there, the solar's already ready to go. It's just some wiring and some plugging in. Not that I plan on doing that, but you know, that's what it is. So the headliner that I talked about, that'll be lined up in here. That's the upper deck for everything. And I was coming over here for a reason. I think I was going to show, and I have my DC mount there. Oh, my backup monitor. So my plan, instead of, this is a 24 volt system. I have 900 watts of lithium ion phosphate available. So I'm going to run my stereo. I'm going to run my backup camera. I'm going to run a full iPad Pro for nav also, as well as a Overlander, Garmin Overlander XL. Whatever I have in the truck, I'll pull out of that and use here. So there'll be all the plugins and everything for that. That's why I didn't cut this plate out. I want to mount everything off that plate. I'll do that with ball mounts and RAM. But I'll be able to turn, and I have a switch panel coming too, a 6-gang switch that will run these forward lights as well as the backup monitor. So you can actually, it has 4 cameras on that. So it's got a downward front, of course, a backup camera, and then 2 side cameras. So I can use that as a security, and I can run that and see what's going on outside at all times while I'm inside. When I talked about that front light, you can tell I've moved this this Humvee, but this front light right here is super cool. It's got it's LEDs and it's got fog lights built into it. So that's going to take 2 switches, one to run the fogs and one to run the other lights. I really did that, and that's what's wonderful about Amazon is you're able to look at dimensions and pick the right dimensions for your application, and that's what fit there. Other than that, what a fun process. Why I'm looking at it. This is that 270 Batwing, and then I have the room. I actually have that all for sale right now, but my thought process is on that is I am actually going to run a couple mounts off of here, probably double shear, and then a 120 thick pole going up to mount that, because it's not going to mount to the outer shell, which is going to move up 24 inches on linear actuators. So I'll set that at a height at like 6'6" or whatever they recommend, probably 6'6", and that allows that screen room to zip on it. So it's going to it'll go all the way to about here, and then that thing will open up and cover the whole back area. And then you have this little screen room. Well, it's not a screen room, it's actually a tent with open panels that you can make into a screen room. But it's a neat solution for like quadrupling your space. So imagine this all out here going out 8.5 feet all the way around and on that other side. So that allows you bicycle storage, maintenance. If you're set up somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks, it may be worth it to put that thing up. If it's just a quick stop and you want to create some shade, then you can rope that thing out. Super easy to come out, super easy to go back in. Screen room, I can't really comment on how easy or how hard that's going to be because I haven't done it yet. But I have operated that Batwing at a show, and it's super simple. Might not even need to put the legs down if you're just doing a kind of a quick stop. But that's where we're at. I think I've talked about the instant hot water heaters going up here. Um, that'll work as the shower, and as well as I'm going to use it for the pump to flush this down. The Thetford curves have a little bit of an issue with their pumps, and their pumps are 90 bucks, and this one happens to no longer have a good pump in it. They sent me another one. I've had 2 failures, so that's something very common with these. I did get this little thing right here that affixes a toilet down to it. There we go. And then you push this in, maybe. Anyway, that pushes in and that locks this thing in place so it doesn't go anywhere going down the road. But these are super nice because it's got a flush on it. It's got a fill. And I've had great luck with them other than the pumps. I wish they just made a super manual pump. But when the pump went out in Oscar Mike, I used the hot water station to wash things down. And I think in the end, you actually use less water and it becomes more bottom heavy than top heavy. As you can see, we have a 5-gallon tank or so up here and then a 6 or 7 down here. And yeah, it works out where it's, you know, when you have this full and this empty, it's top heavy and it's always trying to topple itself. So right now I have no fluid in that. I kind of like this little partition that I did. I was going to go all the way up with it, and I still have the ability to do that. It's capped right now. You can see I got like a first coat of paint on things. I got to go correct some of the little runs and stuff on the refrigerator, take care of some other things, but that'll be a final when it's done. Get some stuff in, get it laying down, and make it look good. And so you understand the packaging piece. I talk about that all the time. You're always fighting for an inch. That packaging piece is super important. So I did make this little box. I did not make these little boxes, but this is going to be used for gear and storage. And those will just simply go right under here. And I'm probably going to have to cut these legs a little bit on this bed to make it go down a little bit. I don't mind it leaning in. That works out really well for me because you're never parked level, so you could always look for something somewhat level. And then I made this box up here that is just, it's not even installed. It's just laying in place, so it's not even in there straight. But that'll be used for gear that's not commonly used, something that you want to take with you that maybe it's seasonal, so you put your winter clothes in there, and then summer you operate out of the bins. But super stoked with the platform. This is why I chose a Humvee, why I wanted to choose a Humvee. If you notice, this is almost the same layout as my adventure truck with just a few little things. The wider aisle allowed for a twin-size bed on both. That's way cooler. A lot more room for you to be comfortable. You can sleep 2 people on a twin. You gotta like each other, but there's 2 beds. So each person can have their own bed and have their own way to sleep. Primarily, I know I'm probably gonna camp out of this by myself or with a dog or 2. Probably 2, because I always have somebody next to me. And what a lucky person I am to have beautiful animals that will follow me around. But absolutely stoked on this. Once again, it is for sale for $60K. The link to all of the stuff that I buy on Amazon that has to do with EDC, my builds, the different stuff that I use as an adventure athlete are down. So do me a favor, click on that link. Even if you're not going to go shopping today, click on that link. That link is good for 24 hours. You don't have to go back to it. And I get my whole 24 cents from that. Like to start making a little bit more money doing this. We'll see how it goes, but I appreciate each and every one of your guys' support, your comments. Man, I'm just a lucky dude to get positive comments all the time. I think during this whole build cycle, I've only got 1 negative comment, and that comment was that bed design is not going to work. So I don't know if he was talking about the physical bed or talking about the layout of the back here, but I'm okay with someone voicing their opinion, but tell me why you think that. But yeah, it's working just as I had seen it and had planned it. Exactly what I want in here when it's, oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. When it's nice, of course, that's going to be a window, and that's kind of even with the bed, so you can kind of hang out in bed, and that window comes up to like right here. And I got all that squared and rebuilt moved up. The traction boards are here. I'm actually debating, because I got the room for it now, if I make that a flip down table and then go into this side. I think I'm going to put another window in, just at least to get cross venting in the place. And then I also have some expedition windows that are going to go, actual real windows that are going to go in the outer shell, and probably place one somewhere in this arena, and that'll probably be close to where the other window is that folds down. We'll see how it goes. You know, that's what's fun about these projects, is like you get to invent new stuff every single day. And I say I'm super stoked that I went with the Humvee. I did the 2-inch body lift on it in case the 6.5 turbo wasn't something great. I was going to put a Duramax in it. So you have to do a 2-inch body lift to do a Duramax to clear everything. With this, from driving this previous with this set of tires and wheels, it goes down the highway at 75, and I didn't feel any more comfortable driving over 75. It felt like it would do 80, 85, no problem with how it is, because it is a 4-speed and it is the turbo. It's not super fast, way faster than Oscar Mike, but the off-road capableness of this and the ground clearance under this is just really set up super, super well. And I got plans for later if I keep it. And my plans are, when this thing is done, I think I've talked about that before, I'll add up hours, I'll add up what I put into it, and it's going to be a $125 to $150 platform, $1,000, $150,000 platform. And I know people like, oh, you're on crack. Well, there's other rigs out there going for $350, $550, even $1 million that are going to be less capable and less luxurious than this, and not as much thought process put into it. So it is what it is. I'll keep it. It's my dream rig. How many times could you have a bullet resistant or bulletproof armored windows, armored doors in a camper? Super stoked. Super stoked. It's a one-off unicorn. So it's coming together, and I think it's going to be amazing. But I'll see you guys back here in October on the Humvee build. Follow up my other adventures. We'll be at Newport Dunes for 2 months. If anyone's in the SoCal area and you want to stop by, shoot me out a comment in the text, and I'd love to see you guys and meet you guys in person. Some of the people that I've met in person, I absolutely love the community. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. That's going to be it for now. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.